Wikipedia operator loses court challenge to UK Online Safety Act regulations. We really are witnessing the death of the internet, or at the very least, the death of the anonymous internet, because this isn't the only bad news that came out today. First off, we have stuff with TikTok, and where TikTok is now doing the exact same thing as YouTube is, where they are now implementing a AI algorithm, like a bot, to determine if your account is a child or an adult, and we know how these automated systems work, and it's apparently already being implemented around the world, and it's affecting people in the United States as well. This isn't strictly just attached to the United Kingdom or the EU. You have TikTok now joining in on the rampant surveillance and privacy evasion, which is not really surprising since TikTok is technically a Chinese app, but regardless of the point, we have a lot of these companies that are just diving into the invasion of privacy because it is a domino effect that is getting worse and worse. But then, to add even more on to just this rampant bad news that we've been getting, we now have a list of how many countries in the EU is supporting the invasion of privacy, trying to read your messages, censor the internet, and just a bunch of other things in between. You can see a bunch of them outlined right here, like Italy, Ireland, Portugal, you have Spain, you have, Sweden, you have a bunch of different countries in here, all in support of censoring the internet and knowing what you're doing at any given time, and basically saying, think of the children. And the only countries that seem to be actually opposing this so far is just these three, the Netherlands, Poland, and Austria, which is just, it's very little in comparison to the amount of supporting, and then those that are undecided you can see kind of right here. But let's get back into the main point where we started this video when it comes to Wikipedia. I would like to remind everybody that the law of the UK Online Safety Act started with the whole motivation and optics of think of the children, protect the children. Even in this article, if you go to the bottom, you have a statement from the government itself. The British government says the law is designed to protect children and remove illegal content. Technology Secretary Peters said those who want to overturn it were on the side of predators. So basically, what the government of the United Kingdom is doing, and I'm assuming EU is going to soon to follow, like the countries that are in support of these laws, are going to say, if you dare try to fight back for freedom of expression or to be able to just say what you want online, you're on the side of actual PDF files. Like, that's what side you're on. That's what these governments are trying to say. They're trying to gaslight everybody into that, and it's just outright despicable, because you're not going to tell me censoring Wikipedia is about helping and protecting children. Like, let's get to the bottom of this real quick. Like, let's just show an example here. Wikipedia is a source of information. Now, obviously, Wikipedia can be inaccurate at times. It can. There is definitely times where it has been. There is history and records. If you go back, you could find it. But the point is that, in general, Wikipedia is used as a source of finding out data. For instance, maybe about historical figures, finding out stuff about games, maybe dates of when things were released. Basically, a paper trail. It is to learn. It is to know what happened in the past. Sometimes there's inaccuracies, but for the most part, you can get a lot of solid information from Wikipedia. And the fact that this site that is just literally about research and for basically students or college grads or people that are adults to learn about things is being censored by the UK government, it's very obvious it was never about protecting children. I mean, we already knew this, it's very obvious, but the fact that you have the operator losing the court challenge says enough that the whole purpose of this is to censor information, to censor the spread of information, to censor people from researching about things or talking about things that the government does not want you to talk about. You know what this actually sounds like, just straight up? I want to be blunt. It sounds like China. It sounds exactly like China. Like, we want to joke and meme about China, but legit, what we're seeing the British government do, what UK is doing, and what EU and other countries are trying to follow right now, is to stop you from talking about certain topics, to arrest you if you talk about certain topics. For instance, like, example here, what Britain has been really trying to push is, like, if you talk about mass migration, for instance. And so, in this case, it reminds me so much of China with Tiananmen Square. It does. Anyone that knows their history knows about that. It literally feels the exact same. The UK government does not want you to talk about certain things, and they are going as far as they can to make sure you don't. And this There is no reason to censor a site like this. It is just very obvious, it's very transparent that what they're trying to do. And it is absolutely insane to me that there is probably just people that are rolling over and accepting this around the world. There is people. I've seen people still actively defend this. I have seen people actively say, why are you trying to not protect kids? And literally falling for the line of thinking that these government officials are saying here, when it's very obvious it's not about that. Because in an ideal world, maybe it would work, but it's very clear there's corruption. It's very clear that we're not in an ideal world, and so because of that, you're gonna have things where people go too far and try to censor what they just don't like to see. And in this case, that's what's going on. This is horrifying news. This is not good, and I feel like more people around the world and content creators should be talking about this. And it's insane the conversation around this topic is dwindling, getting lower and lower, and people are not speaking out upon it. And I think that it's going to continue getting worse until eventually there's only two outcomes. People are going to be so silenced that we're going to live in legitimately a dystopian reality, like people like to meme on like 1984 and stuff like that, but we're going to live in like some cyberpunk dystopian world that just really oppresses what you can say, or you're going to have people actually rally and try to fight back against this. That's the only two options. But right now, it's not looking good. I've seen kind of less and less resistance as time goes on over these days. And the fact that we have just in 2 days, YouTube is going to be implementing something very similar to invade people's privacy, already shows that it's just about to become horrendous. Now, with that being said, let's shift into TikTok for a second, because this is relevant to the topic of YouTube, because it's very similar. So, as I've already been mentioning for many videos now, the whole Online Safety Act is technically the UK at the moment, but EU is passing their own laws, so is Australia. We know that America is, Canada is as well, and probably different countries too. The point of the matter is that a lot of these sites that are being forced to censor itself for ID identification is technically in the United Kingdom, and some in the EU. But now you have companies like, for instance, YouTube and TikTok now implementing age verification, ID verification, or credit card verification, proof credit card verification, to be able to access their site in the United States. And it showcases that these companies in general are not being forced by, let's say, the UK government to do this. They're doing it willingly to invade your privacy. They're jumping on the bandwagon to be able to collect as much information they can, because when things turn south, let's say people do rally back against what's going on against the UK government, the point is that YouTube and TikTok and these other companies can say, oh, we're not at fault, they forced us, when it's very obvious they didn't, because there's no business for them to do this in the US. So, the big issue here is this one here. So let's get into this TikTok. So, apparently there is reports right now that a lot of people, I believe this is from UK, people within the UK, and I think some people in the United States is getting this as well, that there is people getting hit by an AI algorithm that is saying that their actual account is a child account. It's not an adult using the account. And this notification pops up to where it will say, your account will be banned if, you basically don't identify yourself. If you don't do an appeal and everything, your account will be banned. And you can see basically right here that they, were going to be deleted in under a few days. Like, it says it right here. Or not a few days, in a month. Correction, my bad. I misread it. Forgive me, I'm kind of stupid. But anyways, it showcases that it will be deleted, their account. And this is already showing the future of a lot of these social media sites. And there is no business for this. On top of that, I do want to point out, TikTok is a massive social media platform. And I'm just going to say it like it is. It's definitely utilized mostly by people that are not adults. I'm just going to be honest. I feel like about the vast majority, over half, maybe 60, maybe 70, maybe I'm like lowballing it, but I know at least over half of the viewership on TikTok is definitely kids. And the fact that they're implementing something like this, I'm not trying to say kids should be on TikTok or anything, okay? I'm just going to say that. What I'm saying is that this is going to kill TikTok. I don't know what they're thinking, but this is destructive. It's extremely destructive to their entire site. And the same can be said for YouTube. The very same thing that's going to be happening in literally 2 days. 2 days from now, the system of AI algorithm to verify if you're an adult or not is coming out. And I feel like a lot of people that browse or YouTube are completely unaware that that's coming. I feel like a lot of people are about to be blindsided when that information comes out in a few days. And people are going to be like, why am I being forced to use my ID? Why am I being forced to put my credit card information on? You know there's going to be a lot of people blindsided by it. I sense that. It's going to be huge. I sense a lot of controversy. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe nobody will talk about it. But I doubt it. I really doubt it. There's no way a YouTube automated AI system is going to function properly right out the gate. Especially when it's very clear that they jumped into this to get onto the bandwagon with what's going on in UK and other governments around the world. But yeah, it's bad, man. It's really, like, how did we get here, man? It's just... It's one thing after another. Like, I know the executive order the other day was kind of good news. It doesn't mean it's over, because an executive order can easily be appealed and stuff for, like, payment processors and banks. But it was a step in the right direction. But if this continues and these governments keep allowing this, that executive order is not going to really do anything. It's going to just get worse. So, don't stop talking about this. Guys, this is very important. It's really important. I'm extremely, extremely passionate about this, and I want to keep talking about this because it is important to make sure everybody knows about this. Because if you roll over, it's going to get worse. It will. We've seen it, and it is. And so, they're hoping people stop talking about it. They're hoping people get bored. That's what they're hoping for. So, if you do want this topic to spread, do leave a like on this video. Do leave a comment for the algorithm as well to help this video spread. It does help out considerably. But thank you so much, guys. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.